I'm Ravi B from the band Karma, and I started music when I was 13 years old. Fortunately for me, my dad and my uncle had a band, still have a band, Prasad in the Art Orchestra. And literally, born into it, my bedroom was right next to the band room. So hearing music twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays for rehearsals. So I basically grew up in it. I started to sing Bryan Adams songs. And then when Kumar Sanu came on the scene from India in the 90s, I started to really like his voice, and that is the person I started to adapt. And then they started to realize that, wait, now Ravi singing. And then they introduced me to the band. Nisha was already singing in the band. My brother was already singing in the band. So they gave me a test on Mastana Bahar. And I came third. And so I started to roll with the band, do my one song. And it was really scary at first, being on stage. And they would have been doing some huge concerts. Like I remember the first public concert that I did out of Mastana Bahar was Nitin Mukesh coming to Trinidad and Tobago. That's the son of Mukesh in Bollywood, and it was Rienzi Complex in Cuba. Place was packed to capacity, and I had to sing Tujhe dekha to ye jana sanam, and green, Visima. And thankfully, I had the opportunity to sing with Nisha on stage that same particular song, so it wasn't as scary. So yeah, that's how I started music. I think the biggest challenge would be finding myself and my identity and what I really wanted to do as an artist that can represent Trinidad and Tobago. Because again, I started singing Bryan Adams songs and Kumar Sanu songs. That wasn't really my identity, you know. I think I really found my identity when we formed Karma, and I'll give you a short history that how Karma came about. Prasad in the Art Orchestra would have been led by my uncle, and my dad was a part of that band too. And we really wanted to venture into a fusion dancehall music with Bollywood and a bit of chutney with Soca. But because of the brand of the band, it was a bit difficult to accomplish that. So we decided that we wanted to branch off and form Karma and just try to do what we wanted to do, because we saw that, you know, like the majority of us, like my parents, they would grow up on watching Bollywood movies on TTT and whatnot. But we had the opportunity growing up in Maxis where they would play dancehall music, Buju Banton, and so we had a proper mix of the culture, you know, and then for Carnival you would hear Iwa George and young Marshall Montano and everybody coming up. So we were really cultured back then, you know, listening to the radio stations, and so here comes me now, and I wanted to be a representation of Trinidad and Tobago, and how can I be different, you know? So one of the ways I could sing Bollywood, so how to introduce Bollywood to our diaspora, and the key element was chutney soca. So I started to pay a lot of attention to chutney soca music, Sundar Popo, Sunny Man, and Chris Garcia came on the scene, and I became a really huge fan of Chris Garcia. This guy was all over, ladies going crazy over him, yo, it's crazy. And I was like, right, that is where I wanted to be. But I just didn't want it to be a chutney soca singer. I wanted to be a chutney soca singer that evolved the entire platform and take it to the next level. So having Karma was a huge opportunity and had a lot to do with it, because now we have the freedom to do what we wanted to do and take the risk. So we started to fuse dancehall with Bollywood, dancehall with chutney, soca with chutney, and that is how we really started to get our identity. As not only me, but Nisha started to get her identity. I got my identity. Karma started to get her identity, and that is how we ended up in Soca Fets, and I think I know I strayed from the topic, but we started to evolve in different steps. So that was step one. Step two would have been when we team up with Big Rich in the Pongolong's factory, and he introduced songs like Dulari to me, and I also had an opportunity to start producing with him I would do the keys, the bass, and like, and then I started to realize, yo, I have a feel for this kind of, for creative music, you know. So like, so just not a singer, I could create music too. And we came up with Jump Thing, and then guys, when Kes gave me the opportunity, like I had joined a network, a phone network, and we were doing the ad for the network, and Kes was like, yo, I really like Jump Thing, let me jump on it. I was like, you serious? You want to jump on Jump Thing? I said, yeah. And we did Jump Thing, and that was the start of my soca career, where Kes introduced me into Carnival as a soca artist. So, and then I had the opportunity to fuse chutney and do so much different things. So I think that was basically the transition for me, by extension, Nisha and the band Karma. I think that comes with experience and over the years of producing music and doing songs every year for Carnival. I always say, I could be wrong, but I believe that an artist is only as good as his hit. And we try every year to always create hits. And when you create hits, you create memories. And fortunately for me, I have songs like Rum Is My Lover that came out like in 2006. I did that song in 2006. And funny enough that because of social media and platforms like TikTok and whatnot, these songs are being revived all over, like in new diasporas like Jamaica, and like I would have never thought in my life Rum Is My Lover would be a big song in Jamaica, you know. And you would think that you would have to remix it with a Jamaican artist for that to happen. So things are happening, and I'm getting to realize now that music is so universal, is one language that speaks to so many people, and you just have to put out good music. Like, it's like putting out energies on. When you put out good energies out there and manifest stuff, it happens. That is what music is. You put out good music, and it mightn't come back to you right away, but sometime in the future, once it's good music, you never know. Like 5 years from now, one of my songs that didn't make it could strike, you know? Staying relevant in any music industry now, in present time, begins with social media. You have to have some kind of social media presence. You always have to do things to be trending and putting on good music. Like, a lot of artists would only release music for Carnival, and some of them would get lucky and have the song play for the rest of the year. But I always think it's relevant. Like, for me, in Karma, even with Nisha, like every month, I would be like, Nisha, we release something, like, yo, we release something, try to do collaborations, try to get into different genres, and that is how I believe music should be relevant, artists should remain relevant. If I could work with anybody, this might sound crazy, but I really would like to do a song with Skrunta. Because I have a special love for Christmas. And Skrunta and Baron is like the heart of Christmas when it comes to Para, for me personally. Because these are the guys I grew up on, and of course there's Marcia Miranda, and now they are Rome. And but I always wanted to do a song with Skrunta, like, because he's from Valencia, I from Grandi, and I don't know, it's something I would like to accomplish before I retire. If I have to work with an international artist, that would be Michael Jackson, but unfortunately he's not here again. But he is my idol. Yes, I would love to work with Arijit from India. Still Kumar Sanu, being that he's the person that really influenced me into getting my vocals, to getting into singing. I would love to do a song with Bruno Mars, Drake, and Sean Paul. I always wanted to do a song with Sean Paul. How I see Karma in 5 years from now, I want to do like a European tour / India / Dubai, but like it must be a representation of our culture from Trinidad and Tobago, but through Bollywood. I really want to venture into that whole Bollywood market out of India and touring. I see myself on stage with a guitar, my band behind me, and we're just moving from country to country, like those big Indian stars, like Atif Aslam, Arijit, performing in London in those big stadiums. That Jab Sting Naina in Shipi Haina No Shikawaina. But oh, this is Ravi B, and Check this out. She want the roti, she want the choka, she want the bacon. You only make a noise and know you don't want a next man. But oh.